Badlands. Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Okay.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Herold here on Badlands Media. I'm your host, Jon Herold, and kind of a boring news day, not going to lie. Trump's got the State of the Union tonight. We're going to be covering that, so make sure you stick around here on Badlands. Should be a good time. But yeah, there's like not much to talk about. I have things we'll go through, but I'm going to lean on you guys, my crutch, my chat, for some discussion today. So no pressure, but if the show sucks, it's your fault. Just saying. Oh, actually, one big piece of news is after months of waiting, we finally got monetized on YouTube. Like they were reviewing they reinstated a bunch of our accounts because we were on like 5 or 6. I don't even remember the count, but we had, kept getting kicked off, starting a new one, different one. And they gave us back one of our accounts that had the @Badlands Media on there. No underscore anything, just @Badlands Media. Didn't have the most followers at the time, but we were like, it's the best branding. It's not monetized, whatever. We'll apply and see what happens. And we did that in November. And here we are from December, almost over 3 months later, they approved us. It's crazy. So pretty excited to see what happens. We're not going to like censor or change anything. We might, a couple of the shows, they have copyright dings every time they go live to YouTube. So some of the shows might go live after the intro, but it's still going to be the same old Badlands, but we'll see what happens. I mean, it could be nice to get a little extra income coming in for the folks around here. Now I'm definitely a millionaire. I wish. But yeah, I know some people hate YouTube, CommieTube. Totally understand that. I have no love for them. I am purely thinking with a capitalist mindset of helping the boys and gals around here make more money. So make a living, right? That's the whole point of this. Millions Peanuts. Basis was great last night. I just finished listening. Glad you liked that. I did have fun last night. Hanging out with Zach and taking calls. Natalia's son is hilarious. Elfway's an ad blocker on YouTube. F them. Yep. Totally get it. I wonder what the user breakdown is between YouTube user base versus Rumble. Because really the only reason we stream there is for reaching new people. It's never been about the money. If it would have been about the money, we would have stuck with the YouTube account we had that was already monetized. It just didn't have the best handle, but we figured for branding purposes, it'd be easier to do @Badlands Media instead of like official Badlands Media _official or whatever it was. Yeah, look at this. I mean, come on, guys. 2.5 to 2.7 billion monthly active users on YouTube versus 47 million on Rumble. If we're going to be waking up the normies, we're going to do it where they are, right? So you don't have to watch over there. It would be helpful if you guys like went over there now and then and gave a thumbs up or something, but you guys don't have any homework, no requirements. Just saying. That's like the biggest news of the last 24 hours. Ramon222, I watch lots of meaningless stuff on YouTube. All else is propaganda. Some people don't want to tolerate the technical glitches. I agree with you there, Rebel Nader. Phil Scarborough, you should just do a call-in show a la Art Bell once a week. We've thought about doing that. I know Chris and CanCon take calls on Fridays, and I've done that a few times too. Some people like it, some people hate it. Just gave a thumbs on YouTube. Thank you, Scheisler. But yeah, so I'm going to get our sponsors in here real quick, and then we'll start plugging away through some headlines. And if you guys got anything for me, I'd appreciate it. Give me things you want me to talk about, because it is, like I said, a slow 24-hour news cycle. Not much going on, especially with the State of the Union coming up. First up, we got some Rise Attire, guys. Get some Rise Attire gear. They are fantastic. Great people, great products, great way to rep Badlands.
What up, Badlanders? Are you ready to rock something new in 2026? Well, as always, we got you covered with the Rise Badlands Native Collection. Built from the rich tones and rugged terrain of the Dakotas, equal parts beautiful and brutal. Old roots, new vibe. Whether you got gators in your backyard or you have to take a bush plane to the post office, Badlanders are worldwide. Different dirt, same tribe. By the way, your friends at Rise have a deal for you. Show up at GART rocking your native gear. Swing by our booth and get in to win a free Badlands Rise hoodie of your choice. And don't forget, every order throws fuel on the fire of the Made in USA parallel economy. So grab something now at badlandsmedia.tv/rise.
There we go, badlandsmedia.tv/rise. And we also got a little My Pillow for a sponsor today. Check it out.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets, as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, My Pillow mattresses and My Pillow mattress toppers, as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets. Regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale, only $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's going to ship absolutely free.
Badlands Media, guys. Use promo code Badlands, mypillow.com. I'm trying to see who's skipping the State of the Union, because I know a lot of Democrats are doing so. See if they have any lists yet. Many Democrat lawmakers. Let me put this on the screen here. Get out of there. Including those in Washington State, say they plan to skip the president's State of the Union and instead will attend a national mall rally. At least 5 Washington State Democrat Congress members say they plan to boycott, including Pramila Jayapal, don't care, Emily Randall, Adam Smith, Patty Murray, and Rick Larson. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more. I think I saw somewhere there was like a number of almost 20 people planning on skipping, which is fine. I mean, they're bringing the men's hockey team. Or maybe it was more than 20. Maybe it was 30. I don't remember. We'll see what happens. I did hear that Trump is inviting Erica Kirk to be one of his guests as well. Susie Q20. John, why didn't you read my rant last night? I didn't see your rant come in, unless it came in during like the outro video. I'm sorry. If you share it again, I'll read it now. You don't have to give the rant, just like tell me what it said. Bass Burns, anyone here in Texas vote for Hunt or Cornyn over Paxton? Or did you let the machine pick your candidate? Yeah, I'm not from Texas, so I didn't vote. I saw FedEx is suing for a tariff refund. What the hell are they importing? Their delivery company? Let's check that out. FedEx sues tariff. All right. Global shipping company FedEx has sued the Trump administration seeking a full refund for what it paid in import taxes over the past year after the Supreme Court ruled the cornerstone of President Trump's tariff agenda was unconstitutional. About 11-page complaint. The court offered no guidance, however, on the status of $175 billion collected, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know what they're importing. I wonder if they have to pay something if they're like, if a company overseas is shipping to the United States, maybe. I don't know. The whole refund thing is so stupid. It is a nice little diversion, though. Instead of people being like, why are we paying taxes? Like, we want a refund on the tariff stuff. Kind of stupid if you ask me. And I don't think they're going to pay anybody refunds. Rocky 2201 says, what's the bet on someone being escorted out of the State of the Union? Yeah, last year we had, what was it, Al Green got escorted out? I wouldn't be surprised. Prevost says Democrats are worried there will be mass arrests if they show up. That's funny. Jessica, wait, I thought having an alternative halftime show was horrible and done to divide the country, but alternative State of the Union is okay. Well, I mean, the Democrats are nothing if not hypocrites. And I thought the alternative halftime show was dumb too. I didn't watch either. Scheisler says, did I hear the men's hockey team will be there and the women won't be? Come on, women, what's your problem? Apparently they said it was like a scheduling issue. They had commitments already or something. Some people are making it seem like it's a political thing. It might be. I don't know. That's not the excuse they gave. It was 30 Dems and Donald J. Trump sent Air Force One to pick up the hockey team. Yeah, that'll be good. I know Spanberger, I think it is giving the alternative speech or the rebuttal speech or whatever. Wouldn't the shipper have to pay it, not the shipping? I don't know how that works. They raised prices to cover the tariffs. They will collect twice. They do import processing for a ton of companies, but not clear where they've lost billions. Yeah, I don't get it either. And I don't think they're going to pay anything out, but don't be surprised if this isn't the only lawsuit filed for the refund stuff. There's going to be a lot more, if I had to guess. But screw these shipping companies. Sidney Powell, General Flynn are not from Texas either. They do support Doc Pete Chambers. Is Badlands showing their true colors? Speak out, patriot. I don't understand this is what I said yesterday. We're not in the business of endorsing anybody in fake elections. Like if somebody likes a candidate on Badlands, they want to talk about it. That's great. I'm not from Texas. I don't know Pete Chambers. And just because influencers on social media are saying, support this guy, that's not going to be the reason I endorse anybody. I would like to see some questions. I'd like to interview him myself to see if I like anything he says. Jessica Storm, they say their season starts tomorrow. Probably just an excuse. I mean, it's POTUS. The season can wait. Yeah. Lukester used to work for the jerks at FedEx. That's cool. Or not cool. They're jerks. Let's start buzzing through a couple other things here. No update on the Doge website. Silver is, last I checked, over 88 still. That's good. Gold, just under 5,200. Bitcoin hovering around 64,000. Oh, it's 63.9 now. No update on the presidential website. And let's see. We still don't know who the designated survivor is tonight. I'm curious to see who he picks. Yeah, there's even an article about it, so I thought that was funny. This is what Punchbowl News, which I mean, it's mostly garbage, but this is what they had an article out about the Dems trying a new strategy for Trump's State of the Union address. And keep in mind, this is the first technical State of the Union he's had this term. Last year when he spoke before Congress, a joint session, that wasn't technically a State of the Union. But anyway, in 2025, a number of Democrats showed up to President Trump's joint address to Congress sporting handheld protest signs and ready to make a scene. This year, many of these same Democrats say they're taking a different tack. House Democratic leadership has urged members to either skip the speech or sit in silent defiance. The message is don't repeat 2025. They did look like clowns last year. They look like clowns every year. But curious to see it. Like, remember, was it last year they all wore white? And every time he said anything good, they all sat in silence and then they booed him for stuff. So stupid. I'm excited to see Trump's speech, and like we'll cover it. We'll talk about what he says and go over things if there's anything interesting. But the dramatics, the theatrics from the people there, the other selected representatives of our government, so stupid. They don't have a full list here though. Dang it, I just want to see who else is skipping. Some of those no-shows, maybe body doubles getting a stay-at-home order from Doge. Christine's Joy, what are you talking about? Boring news day. My God. Well, what do you got for me? Just because some things excite you does not mean they excite me. Oh, it was his first term. I agree, Claire Cat, John's. The ones that do go tonight won't be able to help themselves and still have to put on the theatrics. Patty Murray's not going. Yeah, it's going to be dumb. But let's look at a couple things. CNN had this out. I think they had actually a couple things out. But the main things Trump's going to be talking about tonight, supposedly. Share the screen here. There we go. 4 things to watch in Trump's State of the Union. A lot has changed since Trump addressed Congress a year ago, but in one area, at least his State of the Union address Tuesday evening seems likely to resemble his last visit to the House chamber. It's going to be a long speech, he said, after delivering the longest joint session address in history last March. I didn't realize that was a record last year. What? Just a record-setting president all the way around. Midterm message. Trump will enter the House chamber on Tuesday looking to defy historic expectations. As he frequently says, incumbent presidents' parties often suffer in midterm elections. It's what they do. It's the balance of power that they keep, the perceived balance of power. When you have the election system captured, it doesn't really matter who's in there. It's all uniparty, but you flip-flop it all the time. Every election cycle, especially after a new president's in there. Republicans are hoping his speech acts as messaging to kick off the campaign season. In a CNN poll taken before the speech, 57% of Americans named the economy and cost of living issues as the most important issue for Tuesday's speech. And that's what I agree with. I've been saying that for how long now? The one thing that is bipartisan in terms of the American people, it's the thing that affects everybody. It's their wallet. Honest question. Do you guys think it helps or hurts our main mission? And this is from Rise Attire. For independent media to spend the time covering D's theatrics tomorrow all day? I don't think it helps. Me and Chris talk about this a lot. Like what's a good example? The halftime show of the Super Bowl. All these, conservative influencers were posting stuff leading up to Bad Bunny. Being like, oh my gosh, how un-American, Bad Bunny, the worst, Spanish, all these things. And then for a full day, all you got was Bad Bunny clips from those same accounts because it's clickbait. They don't actually care about the issues. So no, I don't think it's a good thing, and I'm not going to cover it. We'll cover it live, but we're not going to spend any time on it unless there's something really ridiculous. Cara B says, some dude on MCDNC said, hey, Trump, my crowd will be bigger than yours. I'd be surprised if that's true. Well, maybe outside. I bet they'll probably draw a pretty big crowd. Some of them will probably be paid. Average Americans will tell us how well average Americans are living. Anyway, let's back to this. Even speeches focused on the economy end up meandering in other directions. When he does discuss the economy, it's often to boast about its relative strength, an approach some GOP advisors worry risks downplaying Americans' economic worries. Tuesday's speech will be carefully scripted with references to cost-saving initiatives, including lowering prescription drug prices and cutting taxes. But many Americans still say the economy isn't working for them, providing a test for Trump and acknowledging there's still work to do. Now, I do think 2026 is the year, hopefully before the midterms, those dreaded midterms, right? That the economy does turn around and we actually start to see things in our wallets, We haven't seen it yet. It's just the reality of the situation. I know a lot of people and people I engage with, talk to, online or whatever, nobody's feeling the economic boom that Trump likes to talk about. I know a lot of people in the chat feeling the same way. Personally, it hasn't changed. And so it is a little, I don't love it when he talks about that stuff all the time, because even though there are numbers that are looking good, and I think I'm, big believer in the switch theory where things will flip and turn around and get really good really quick. I don't think we've hit that switch yet. And so when Trump talks about all the good things, I think he risks, how do I want to say this? I just don't think everybody agrees with him, Middle America doesn't agree with it all the time. Tariff setback. Yeah, I'm curious to see what he says about the tariffs, but I'm not going to read that one. Iran. There's some weird psyops going on with that Iran story. Like leaked stories only to be debunked later. I think there was a True Social post. Did I cover this yesterday? I don't remember. Democrat shutdown is killing blue states. It's the only new one. Yeah, I think did I read this yesterday? No, I must not have. Here, I'll read it now. Numerous fake stories or stories from the fake news media have been circulating, stating that General Daniel Kane, sometimes referred to as Raisin, is against us going to war with Iran. The story does not attribute this vast wealth of knowledge to anyone and is 100% incorrect. General Kane, like all of us, would like not to see war, but if a decision is made on going against Iran at a military level, it is his opinion that it will be something easily won. He knows Iran well in that he was in charge of Midnight Hammer, the attack on the Iranian nuclear development. It is a development no longer, but rather was blown to smithereens by our great B-2 bombers. I still think that's funny because the whole reason we're on the cusp of war is the nuclear discussions that we're having with Iran. At least that's a big part of it. And yet he's saying again right here, that development is no longer even taking place. So what's there to discuss? Raising Kane is a great fighter, represents the most powerful military anywhere in the world. He's not spoken of doing Iran or even the fake limited strikes that I have been reading about. He only knows one thing, how to win. And if he is told to do so, he will be leading the pack. Everything that has been written about a potential war with Iran has been written incorrectly and purposely so. I am the one that makes the decision. I would rather have a deal than not. But if we don't make a deal, it will be a very bad day for our country or for that country. And very sadly to people because they are great and wonderful. And something like this should never have happened to them. President Donald J. Trump. Didn't that CIA guy, can't remember his name, Kiriko or something, didn't he say that there was going to be an attack Monday or Tuesday? Let me look that up here. Gosh, how do you spell his name? CIA. So we can find it. Yeah, this is the guy's name. No, that's not the one. Hold on, let me find it. You guys know what I'm talking about. I want to find the actual clip. Does anybody remember his name in the chat? Be appreciated. John, yeah, that's the guy, Claire Cat. Jon Herold. So we played this clip on Saturday's Power Hour. Herold, Iran. Did the clip get removed? Why can I not find this now? This is weird. I hate when this happens. When I literally just watched this video and now I can't find the clip. So weird. And it was all over. Okay, let me look this up in my group checks. I know we had it over there. Hold for processing, everybody. I'm determined now. No. What the hell? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Can you guys help me find this damn clip? Where the hell is this thing? Okay, I give up. Oh, there, Clearcat. Let me see if that's it. Yeah, this is it. Thank you.
Was at the White House this morning talking to his friends, and he says that a decision has been made to attack Iran on Monday or Tuesday. The president yesterday gave the Iranians 10 days to accept our proposals for an end to their ballistic missile program, an end to their uranium enrichment program, an end to supporting groups in the Middle East like Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthis. But he's done this before. Well, he'll give you 10 days, he'll give you 2 weeks, and then he'll just attack 2 days into it. He thinks that keeps people off balance. And so he said that there are battle lines, that the anti-war forces are J.D. Vance and Tulsi Gabbard. He said that that's it. He said the pro-war people are led by Marco Rubio and include Pete Hegseth and now the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And I stopped him on that point this morning. And I said, wait a minute. I said, during the Iraq War, at the start of the Iraq War, the most stridently anti-war component was the Joint Chiefs of Staff. They were always the last ones that wanted to attack because they know what war is. And he said, but you forget, Trump has replaced all of the Joint Chiefs this year, in the past 12 months.
Not true.
Which I had forgotten. Any of these 4-star generals who, had worked their way up through the ranks, but had served under Biden, he fired all of them. All of them. And he promoted people that he knew would be politically loyal.
Do you think this is to distract from the current scandal?
Probably in part, yeah.
How about them saying they're going to release the UFO files last night, which I've wanted released forever. But
yeah, I know, right? Timing. I mean, we've been talking.
Okay, you get the idea. But yeah, his inside source, a different former CIA agent, called him and told him that they were looking to strike Iran and could hit as early as Monday or Tuesday. So we have until probably the State of the Union, if it's going to happen, so Trump can talk about it. So dumb. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So that's another thing on the list of topics, and that might be it. Yeah, that's the only thing I'll talk about there. But this is some of the economic stuff. This is the state of the economy ahead of the State of the Union. Oh, man, I got to get the archived version. What a shit show today from me. I do have a lot of tabs open, but I'm somehow still underprepared. Eric Q. Freeman, this guy is 100% full of shit. Yeah, I agree with you. Darkseed _ says, F Trump, dude's a pedophile. I don't think that's true. And I encourage you to prove it, which you can't. Gator Rob, there's so much bullshit out there right now. Yes, there is. Yes, there is indeed. Everybody's getting on board the whole let's not give immunity to glyphosate thing. Like a bunch of politicians are doing it too. These people know nothing about what they talk about ever. It's annoying. Okay, let's read through some of this because this is some of the numbers. I don't know, it's CNN, so there might be some skewed bias and whatnot, but is what it is. On paper, the State of the Union's economy is surprisingly strong. On paper, anyway. Jobs, wage growth, consumer spending, and inflation under President Trump look pretty decent or have been mostly stable, and the stock market is near a record high. Yet Americans despise this economy. Consumers' confidence is near record lows, and recent polling shows Trump's economy gets dreadful grades from potential voters. A political liability for Republicans ahead of this year's midterms. Why such negativity? Affordability. It's a term Trump hates and says he has defeated. But following the pandemic, prices surged during the Biden administration, and consumers haven't yet adjusted. Well, that's a weird admission from CNN, because they used to say that wasn't happening. Housing and childcare in particular are largely unavailable and unaffordable, and loan delinquencies, especially for lower income Americans, are starting to get worrisome. Trump on Tuesday night is set to deliver this year's State of the Union. Here's a look at some of the good indicators and the bad ones. The good, despite a recent tariff and AI-induced sell-off this year, stocks remain near their all-time highs. The market is decidedly not the economy, but enthusiasm from Wall Street helps pad retirement accounts, which can give consumers the confidence to spend their money. S&P climbed higher in the past year. So yeah, if you're in stocks, the stock market does look pretty good. I don't have a retirement account right now. I have my old one that I contribute my Roth IRA or whatever. But yeah, I don't care much about the stocks. I'm not a day trader. I'd love to be. I'd love to have the time and intelligence to do that successfully, but never really tried. The U.S. economy grew 2.2% in 2025, although that was the slowest pace since 2020. It was very much in line with the last 3 years of robust economic growth. See there, they're trying to attribute some to Biden. And the longest ever government shutdown shaved a bunch of productivity off the books in the fourth quarter. Growth that the U.S. economy should be making back this quarter. Tracking GDP, U.S. economy grew in fourth quarter. Here's the GDP numbers. The solid but not on a sugar high growth could keep inflation in check. The not too hot, not too cold growth led Stephanie Roth, chief economist at Wolfe Research, to call this economy Goldilocks. What a weird thing. The labor market was historically weak last year. One of Trump's finalists for Fed chair said this week that he thinks jobs data revisions will ultimately show 2025 was one of just 3 years since World War II in which the U.S. economy lost jobs. I don't think that's as bad of an indicator as they're trying to frame it, considering illegal aliens and stuff getting deported. It's probably where a lot of the job losses went. Wage growth versus inflation. So what's the deal about that? Let's see. The bad news, paycheck growth has been on a steady slide for more than 3 years. The good news, so is inflation, which is slowing at a faster rate. I still think that's stupid. Inflation's still going up. It's just not going up as fast as it used to be. It's still not a great thing. After a couple of bounce backs in the past 2 years, annual inflation, 2.4%, appears to be on the downswing again. That means annual wage growth, 3.7%, is making our paychecks stretch farther on the whole. Still, the imbalance in the economy, also known as K-shaped, means that more true for wealthier Americans than for low-income folks. Potential ugly. Income and wealth inequality are not new concerns for the U.S. economy, but the gap between the haves and the have-nots widened this past year, while booming stock prices themselves, bolstered by rampant investment in artificial intelligence infrastructure, have increased prosperity for high-wealth individuals. And yeah, I don't know how we get away from that. And I'm not a believer in tax the rich. I'm a believer in if we're paying taxes at all, it should be a flat rate for everybody, no matter your income. That's how it should be. But yeah, I don't know how we get around the wealth disparity. Because a lot of the stuff that is good for the economy right now for Trump, like they're saying, it's kind of a fact. It's helping the richer. It's not helping the poorer. Richard Moore, okay, John, then let's adjourn and get back together for the State of the Union. Yeah, you don't have to be here, bro. Drew1111 line says, this nation is in the throes of a color revolution. When I put my name in the hat for governor of Texas, I went up against the establishment, including Republicans. Yeah, it's a cool quote. I like that. John, then review the documents kit. Richard Moore, stop complaining. Tommy's Russell, if you out $7,000 for your kid at birth, what is... I don't know what that was hard to read. I can't read that, Tommy. I think you meant if you put $7,000 for your kid at birth into the S&P, the level of 3 men. I think that's what you meant. Patience, John. Patience is not how you spell patience. Getting rid of income tax would help, give people an incentive to earn more. If we have to pay tax, go fair tax only. Plan that eliminates the IRS. Spetzel says, something to watch for tomorrow. Silver market disconnect today. Silver up about 1%, while market silver down about 2 to 3%. Last time we saw the disconnect like that, the crash was the following day. That's interesting to note. Fair tax is a federal sales tax that would allow for tax collection for those who don't pay their income tax. I would assume you're better than Newsom. You can read. I don't know. Yeah, the tax stuff too. Like I'd be down for like just a sales tax. You know, if you want to buy something, and fair. Let's do it that way. But income tax, property tax, all the other taxes are lame. Misbehaving Irishman, patience my ass. I want to kill something. Burp. Richard Rohr, start homesteading. Well, that was fast. Should I stop complaining or leave? And I'll need a hall pass, bro. You can do whatever you want, man. Jonathan 121878 says, just a question. Would John really know how the economy is doing when he doesn't have a real job? Probably not. But I feel it too. Like, we're supported by you people. And if you people aren't feeling the economic boom, that definitely translates to what we're doing or how we're feeling. Phil says, I think John should give an alternate State of the Union speech tonight. I'm not very keen on like scripted speeches. I would just get up there and freeball it for a while. What do you mean, you people? Talking about you, the blacks, mostly. Definitely not feeling the economic boom here in Commie, Oregon, says Claire Cat. John would know since he's a trillionaire. I wish. Yeah, if it is in a sales tax, everyone pays taxes. Drug dealers, prostitutes, illegals. No, I can read. Drew 1111 line says, so you can answer all your questions to these problems by voting MAGA and getting behind all of us fighting in these elections, or you can keep saying another boring day. Well, it is a boring day in terms of the things that interest me on my show that I want to talk about. If you want to do a show talking about Doc Chambers all day, you go do that. I fully support it. And again, as a guy who does not believe our elections are legitimate, I don't see the benefit of registering people to vote or endorsing candidates in fake elections. Jackie says, what do you know about the blacks, John? I am an illegal alien black tranny Jew. I know everything there is to know. Oh my gosh, Nashville paintball. This would be so much fun. Oh, we should totally do that. Oh, they don't do it for Colts, though. Dang it. You know what is weird to me, though, and what I don't like is when people come in and continually push somebody in like a weird, aggressive, like, I don't get it. Like, you come in and like keep repeatedly telling me that you don't like me because I'm not talking about Doc Chambers or whatever. Like, that's an op. I don't know what that is. And maybe he's a great guy. Maybe he's the great candidate. Maybe if our elections were free and fair, he'd go on to win and all these great things would happen in Texas, whatever. Maybe all that's true. But if there's one thing you should know about me, it's when somebody tells me I should do something, I will absolutely never, ever do that thing. So you should come in here and tell me not to ever talk about him. And then maybe there's a chance I'd get on board with doing so. But like, do you guys know what I'm saying? If you come in here and repeatedly tell me to go watch Nick Fuentes, you think I'm going to go watch Nick Fuentes? It's weird. It's a weird obsession with the guy. Is Badlands a registered cult? Yes, we are a 501c3. And also, I live in North Dakota. Doc Chambers is running for governor of Texas. I know this is a national show or whatever. And if there's a reason to watch or talk about him, I will. But right now, it doesn't affect me. So you can politely suck it and stop telling me to talk about Doc Chambers. It's not going to happen. This is all you're going to get is me bitching about you. What else do we got going on? Let's see. Justice Department has sued New Jersey over sanctuary order limiting ICE arrests. Did I even finish the economy thing? I don't think so. Yeah, there wasn't anything left. People are falling behind on their debts, and consumer sentiment is super low. Anyway, Justice Department filed a suit on Monday against New Jersey and Governor Mickey Sherrill, challenging a new executive order that restricts federal immigration enforcement inside certain state-controlled facilities. The complaint targets Executive Order number 12, which bars U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement from conducting secure arrests of criminal illegal aliens in non-public areas of state property. John hates Texas. I actually like Texas. DeBrawl, don't go cover anything outside your desk for YouTube money. I don't know what you're saying. I feel like there's been an uptick in like bots or shills lately. Something weird's going on. If John doesn't start talking unicorn soon, I'm out. I heard Abbott's largest donor is a Muslim. Yeah. I've heard that too. Sandy says, I think people have unrealistic expectations. So many businesses are closed, and it takes a while to start up many types of business. Good things are happening. Yeah, it does take a while. It's not easy. You got to grind it out when you're starting a business. Funny asking these candidates their plans to deal with massive federal benefits fraud gets no replies. Yeah, like none of these people, how many of these people don't want taxes? These people are trying to get elected. You know, has there been any candidates outside of Trump, I would say? But like the honest question, every time there's a candidate who runs to do something, you get this groundswell of support and people are all excited about it, and you get Scott Presler to register you to vote for him and all these things, and you get mad at people for not voting for them. I mean, this is how it's happened for all the elections that I've ever participated in or been doing this for. And then we get them into elected office, and none of them do the things that they said they were going to do. None of them. They're all shill. They all suck. Everybody, except for Trump, in my opinion. It is very rare that there is somebody that makes it to any significant level in politics that actually lives up to their campaign promises. It's very, very rare. So, like, I'm sorry, but I'm probably going to be a little skeptical of anybody saying anything good because they never follow through ever. Not with the current election system. There's no reason for them to. There's no way for them to actually be held accountable. Ramon222 says every politician lies to get into office. Trump is not a politician. I agree with that. Both USN hospital ships are currently in dry dock, so I don't know how they're getting to Greenland. Yeah, it's not a great start if you're going to send a ship to Greenland. Probably has to be in the water first. HRBL Aman says, John, do you vote in elections? I've never listened to why we vote, but why should we vote? Here's the thing. I have voted in every election since I've been eligible to. Since I've been of age. Every single time. Midterms or general. Everyone. I might have missed one. I might have missed a midterm here or there. But like, especially since starting this, like I've participated. And I don't know what I'm going to do for this upcoming election. I might just go through the motions just to say I did. But it is fully with the mindset of there's no way this is even going to count. Like I have no faith or, you know, I have no illusions that our elections are legitimate in any way. So I don't know. Maybe I won't. But until our elections are actually fixed, you can't tell me there's an actual point to voting. I know people don't like to hear that, and people get upset. I remember there was a huge thing back in the 2022 midterms, and then especially the 2024. We were of the mindset in 2024 that like, yeah, our elections are illegitimate. all this stuff is fake. And there were people on Badlands who were telling people like, yeah, I'm not going to vote. I don't care if you vote. You do what you want to do. And people got mad at us for that. People got mad at us for being like, our elections are fake, so why would we participate? We're not telling you not to go vote. You can do whatever you want. And people got upset. And here we are. Trump repeatedly telling us, yeah, the election's fake. The election's illegitimate. Super fraudulent. They cheated. All they do is cheat. And yet we're supposed to continue to participate. I don't know if I'm feeling the same way anymore. I'm sure people will still like give a shit because we take that kind of stance and have that kind of rhetoric, but I don't really care. Most of the people that get upset at us for saying, you know, our elections are fake and illegitimate, we don't care if you vote or not, they're also the ones that say nothing can stop what is coming. So why does it matter so much to them? If you don't vote, you know for sure your votes don't get counted. But I could also just be giving them an extra vote to steal for their candidate. If you don't vote, it just makes it that much easier for them to steal it again. Do we know that, though? Do we know that for sure? I know that's what a lot of people say that. I don't know. We'll see what happens as we get closer. We'll see what changes are made. I am hopeful. That's one of the rugs I'm on. If I'm on two rugs, it's that Trump is going to do something to fix the elections before the midterms, and the Rico Grande case, which we have heard suspiciously little about the last 9 months. And guys, how do you know that even if I don't go vote, that I will not have a vote casted in my name? You don't know that's not going to happen. Polymathenon, status love their election. Yeah. Tommy's Russell, well, it makes them do something, either steal your vote or add another fake one. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we've used that excuse, and so far it's been to no avail. You know, like if you vote, at least it makes them have to cheat harder. And then we're just gathering evidence again for another election. And maybe that's true. But what's that quote? It's like, if you do the same thing over and over again and keep expecting different results, this is gonna be, don't put this on a t-shirt. This is totally butchered. But if you do the same thing over and over again and keep expecting or not get different results, then you're retarded or something. It's something like that. I think it was Socrates. A lot of Karens and Kens in the chat today. What a bunch of pussies. I agree with you. 33605. Get involved locally. At least you can talk to who you're going to vote for. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Join your Badlands group, badlandsmedia.tv/groups. We have Badlanders all over the country. I'm totally down for people getting involved in the election process. I mean, if there's any chance of us fixing things, we got to be there to fix it. Get involved with the local elections. Be a counter or vote taker. I don't even know what the roles are. Frederick Leathers, the only reason to vote if you believe elections are fake is to prove the elections are fake. If the majority of voters are red and the majority vote is blue, that proves your point. But if we can't audit it, then we can't prove our point, you know? Definition of insanity. That's what it is. I was close. I pretty much nailed that, though. Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Yeah. Pantaleon says, I think getting the illegals out will make a dent in the chicanery. That's possible. That's possible. But we'll see. Hilarious, and the name calling begins just because people don't agree. None of us know anything. Guys, I'm not claiming to have all the answers, and I'm certainly not going to tell anybody else what to do. If you guys, want to participate, do it. I'm probably going to participate. It's not hard to do. I understand the principled approach to not participating at all and opting out, and I respect people who do that. It's not always my approach to, like, I don't really care enough either way, you know? So don't get mad at me, and don't get mad at each other. We're in this together. Fraud fatigue wears people out. Yeah. Whose vote is it anyway? Where everything's made up and the points don't matter. Just because we don't have the answers doesn't mean we don't have the questions. And sometimes I don't have the answers either. And yeah, the name calling will never stop. There is an open bar at GART, or you get drink tickets. I don't remember. State Department has funded or partnered with education to enforce foreign funding disclosures at U.S. universities. Yeah, we got to get that foreign money out of here. So I like that move. XAI's Grok approved for use in classified military systems. If it's classified, how do we know? But they've reached an agreement allowing the U.S. military to deploy its Grok model inside classified systems. Till now, Anthropic's Claude has been the only AI model cleared for use inside the Pentagon's most sensitive classified networks, where intelligence analysis, weapons development, and battlefield planning take place. But Anthropic has refused a demand to make Claude available for all lawful purposes. XAI agreed to the government's all lawful use standard, paving the way for Grok's approval in classified systems. PDX is set to meet Tuesday at the Pentagon with Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei in what sources describe as a high-stakes session. The officials signaling Anthropic could be labeled a supply chain risk if it refuses to lift its safeguard. Yeah, screw those guys. RR Hody says, my precinct is very easy to go in and vote. Just have no faith in the system. Yeah. Like, it's easy to vote in North Dakota too. But I also have no faith. Phil Scarborough, when does Tulsi's 2020 election report come out, and will that change minds in Congress about election laws? You know, it's an interesting question, Phil. I really like that question because I don't know when it's coming out. I do anticipate it soon. John Solomon said that Trump was going to be handed that soon. People are saying, oh, he's going to read it at the State of the Union. Maybe he does. I don't know. But whenever that does come out, the effect it has on Congress's mind won't matter. The beneficiaries of our election fraud are not going to be the ones to save us from election fraud. If anything, they're setting the table that okay, we'll finally pass the SAVE Act, I guess. You're right, our elections are rigged. We'll pass the SAVE Act. That solves one of hundreds of issues that we have with our election system. And it's a big one, the voter ID thing, sure. But that doesn't fix the system. Voter ID does not all of a sudden magically make our elections legitimate. And people who are pushing for it and advocating for it, while it's a step in the right direction. It's great. Like, I think we're going to need voter ID at some point in whatever legitimate system we have, but it's not the end all be all. And I don't want us to get stuck in okay, we finally did it. Oh, we can trust our elections again for the next 30 years until we start seeing more shenanigans come out. It needs to be bigger than that. So I don't know. I don't think any amount of information is going to get Congress to implement some sort of actual election reform. It's not them. It's going to be something else. It's going to be on us. It's going to be on Trump. Maybe a little sprinkle of the military. It's not going to be the elected representatives. Spetzel says, I'm not in this with anyone who complains and doesn't do shit. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, man. I volunteered in elections for years and years until they told me I couldn't ask someone if they had voted before when trying to find their name in the computer. You got in trouble for that? Jonathan 121878 says, how bad would you feel voting for the Democratic ticket if your vote doesn't matter? Myself, I would be unable to look my wife in the eye, even though I agree our elections are totally rigged. I mean, if I went and vote, I wouldn't vote for the Democrat. Maybe not, wouldn't even vote for the Republican. I'd vote for the candidate I think, I don't know, is actually America first. Anyone know the current Vegas odds of Bondi arresting someone before 2028? Grand Baker says, I'm going to vote no matter what happens with my vote, just me. I respect that. And me too, probably. Team Smooth says, he said, she said, I vote for frictionless friction. Yes, Dean, I'm retarded. Thank you for that. $12 rant. Voter rolls need to be dumped. DeBrault says, this troll says, if we all agree on everything, life would be boring and our blood pressure would stay normal. No, we like the friction here, guys. Don't get me wrong. We're going to fight. We're going to argue. We're going to call each other out. We're going to call each other names. But at the end of the day, it's all still love. Okay. For most of you. Phil Scarborough, then Trump will have to do something drastic. This was David Clement's point the other night. There's nothing left to do but Trump call for some kind of election infrastructure emergency. I mean, maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I don't know if that would be responded to well by the left. I think it's such a delicate situation that I don't know. I don't think an actual civil war would take place, but I don't want to say that chance is zero either. Like some sort of small scale situation like that. I don't know. It starts with election fraud exposure, and we go from there. You know. Let's see what happens. Because if the evidence of fraud is like damning enough and easy to understand, like that's another key part of it. Like you can put out all this damning evidence all you want, but if the normal person, like Gavin Newsom with a 960 IQ or whatever stupid comment he made, the average person looks at that and is like, I don't understand this. It's not going to convince them. They need to be convinced so that they don't even have to agree or be supportive of Trump. They just have to be apathetic to why something needs to be done about the election system. You know, that's all we need. It's a battle for the apathy. Skeptical voting has to be on blockchain everything. Yeah, I know some people love that. Some people hate it. The Save America Act would change the entire election system along the West Coast. And maybe that's enough. Maybe the Save Act or whatever is enough to get us over the hump, to get some real candidates in there, some Doc Chambers in there. Shout out whoever it was in the chat that was mad I wasn't saying his name enough. Maybe that's enough to at least get it started. But I'm, while I can recognize good things, I'm of the mindset, I go for gold. I don't stop till the job is done. And I still see it as a half measure. We are in a civil war. It won't be a shooting war. They said the fraud has to be provable beyond a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. Newsman has dyslexia. It's not 960. It's 069. It's funny. But yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. This is a topic it's not going anywhere. And I'm very much excited for whatever election fraud report comes out. I do hope it comes out tonight. State of the Union. That'd be awesome. But we'll see. Trump told us that the SAVE Act is basically irrelevant because we're going to have voter ID regardless. I do think Trump... What's up, PJ? Good to see you, man. I do think Trump has something in mind to fix the problem. I really do. And I've always felt that way. I don't know what it is. And I don't think anybody claims to have all the answers. And I don't think the answer comes from Congress. It just doesn't make sense. No matter how many times have we seen Trump endorse candidates or endorse ideas that suck? We talk about this all the time. Trump is a lightning rod. He'll take the extremes on both ends of the same issue in the matter of a week. And then we kind of resolve ourselves down the middle. And I feel like the SAVE Act is kind of one of those things. Congress does not have our best interest in mind. They are the uniparty. They are a cornered animal. And apparently one of the things they think that will help save them is the SAVE Act. These people don't want it because it's best for America. They have not done anything that has ever been the best for America. So there's no need to be satisfied with the solution the regime provides us. And I'm hoping Trump has something different in mind. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to play our soft disclosure ad. Then I'm going to send you over to Ghost. Make sure you guys tune in tonight to the State of the Union coverage here on Badlands Media. We're going to have a panel of people. I think Chris is going to be on for sure. Ash probably. I don't know who else yet. I'm still waiting on people to respond. But we'll have a good panel, and it'll be a good time. So watch it here. Tell your friends and family, too, to watch it here. Don't watch CNN. Don't watch any of the gay shit. Just watch it here. And I'm going to send you guys over to Ghost after this. Hit that thumbs up. See you tonight. And then back again tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. You guys have a great rest of your day. And Susie Q, I got it, the rants. Okay, we're good. Hit that like, everybody. Do it over on YouTube as well. I appreciate it. Okay. Have a good rest of your day.
In a quiet town where beards grow wild and lips dare to crack without permission, one woman has suffered.
Hi, I'm Margie, and I'm Jadriet's mother.
But the world would come to know her by another name, Madame Margie, the moistureless.
Jay came home with a lip balm. It's called Soft Disclosure.
With one miraculous application, her power awakened.
Within one day, my lips were healed. It was miraculous.
But salvation came at a cost. For in the shadowed lands known only as Badlands,
You boys at Badlands are so handsome.
she saw potential.
You're covering up your beautiful faces.
And she made her demand,
Shave them all off,
or face the consequences. Beard oil will not save you now.
and you'll look so much better.
This summer, moisturize wisely and guard your beard, because Madame Margie, the moistureless, is always watching.
Let's get started.
Oh, that's real good.
Why they stopping me? Stopping me.